Cole,
Haley Bruner,
Alicia Hernandez,
Savannah Ewing,
Sam Pruitt,
Taya Cunningham,
Alyssa Fawcett,
Oriana Ratcliffe, Nyla Salinas,
Riley Breton,
Joseph Stevenson,
Danica Hanchett,
Haley Muirhead,
Layla Karim.
Welcome back to another episode of PTV. I'm Haley Bruner.
And I'm Sarah Cunningham. Despite not being able to travel across the United States, Ms. Weisar's community living class has been making foods from several areas of the country. Oriana Ratcliffe has more on this story.
One teacher here at PHS brought foods from around the U.S. for her students to make in class.
We are cooking each week in the senior class that is called Community Living. We started out with the northeast section of the United States, and from there we cooked Cheddar Bay biscuits, which are kind of similar to what you might get at Red Lobster. The next area that we moved to was the southwest, and there we cooked sliders with Chipotle mayo, and that was a little something different for us, probably a little spicier than some kids are used to, or maybe they weren't quite open to using some of the ingredients that we used, like chipotle peppers that were in an adobe sauce. But we gave it a try, and I think a lot of people really thought it was pretty tasty, so that was fun. We moved on from there to the Midwest, which of course we're all super familiar with, biscuits and gravy. That was a complicated meal for us to fix because it was 2 homemade items, so we made from scratch biscuits and from scratch gravy in a 51-minute time period. And then this week we're moving to the southeast, where we'll fix some sweet cornbread that we're going to learn about this week.
This project opened up new and exciting cooking options.
I thought this would be something that would bring kids buy-in and let them get more excited about what we're fixing, instead of always just fixing things that have always been done or that were in our files, but giving them some opportunities to do some research themselves, find out what things come from different areas of the United States, and then go with that. Stay tuned, we'll be making great things throughout the whole year. We usually cook on Wednesdays, so you smell the smell in the hallways. That's coming from us. Hopefully it's a pleasant odor that you smell, and we're really just looking forward to all those experiences.
For PTV, this is Oriana Ratcliffe.
Last week, many students and teachers from both the middle school and high school came together to advocate the awareness of suicide prevention. Taya Cunningham has this story.
To support the awareness of suicide prevention, the community of Phillipsburg, Kansas came together to participate in the Color Run.
The purpose was to raise awareness for youth suicide ages 10 to 24. We want to get the word out that there's help for people. We want to make sure that they know the places that they need to go, and we just want to let everybody know that it is a problem. It is the 3rd leading cause of death.
Participants enjoyed running for a good cause.
I thought the Color Run was a great thing, and the turnout was great. There's a ton of people and lots of students here, and it was fun running by the elementary kids and having their encouragement on the way.
I am overwhelmed with the amount of people that signed up. I think we had 189 people signed up to do the Color Run, so we were thinking that we would be doing awesome if we got 100, and to have 189 people from 2 different schools and the community was really beyond our expectations.
Oh, it's for a great cause, so definitely why not try it out. And it was a Color Run walk, so I was like, oh, maybe I can walk it. But once I got started, I ended up running most of it.
I enjoyed it. It's a nice day to get out and get some exercise and do something with the kids outside the classroom. I really enjoyed going through the grade school with all the kids out there giving fives and throwing color.
Reporting for PTV, this is Taya Cunningham. Real Encounters BMX performers traveled to Phillipsburg to send kids a valuable message using their bikes and stunts. Layla Karim brings us the rest.
The Real Encounter Ministries came to PHS to show off their biking skills and share a message about making choices.
I started out racing motocross professionally many years ago when I was 19 years old. And after I became a Christ follower, I changed my focus from trying to race and ride motorcycles for myself and use it for the glory of God.
You need to stop and pause and think about every decision and think about what is the right thing to do here.
Our main message in the school assemblies is to just show people how action sports and everything can just impact people's lives, and that you can better yourself if you try, and you can help other people. One of my biggest inspirations was Joey. He's on our team, and he taught me how to ride a bike, and he's always been so good, and I've always looked up to him.
My favorite part would have to be where he talked about like encouraging others, like go sit with that lonely person at the table. Yeah, the tricks were like awesome.
One bad decision, I've seen it time and time again, one bad decision can affect a person for a lifetime.
The message I got from it was it takes a lot of work to do a big thing in life.
If at first you don't succeed, try again.
For PTV, this is Layla Karim.
This year, Miss Pockbeer's video class took a trip to the Kansas State Fair to compete in a statewide competition. Sam Pruitt has more on that.
Welcome to the Kansas State Fair.
We went to Hutchinson, Kansas for the Kansas State Fair.
In this area, then.
That's fine.
No, that's fine. You want it longer.
Longer.
We took a group of video students to the Kansas State Fair to compete in the Scholastic Press Corps competition. Students were required to create a 4-minute video show based on events that were happening at the state fair. One of the new things that they added to the state fair was a competition where you had to submit one of your video entries before noon. The state fair committee took a look at the videos that were submitted by noon to see if they would be worthy of posting to the Facebook page represented by the Kansas State Fair, and one of our stories, one that was worked on by Oriana and Layla, qualified for that.
Students worked in pairs to film events and gather interviews.
I had a story that was 60 seconds and then another story that was 30. One of the stories I did with Sam, it was about a dairy cattle showing, and we just had to go around and ask the judges what they're looking for in dairy cattle. Oriana and I did a story about pig races. It was an extra challenge.
Creating an entire news show in one day proved to be challenging.
We barely got done in time, but it was okay.
Overall, the 4-minute competition piece that we turned in by the end of the day will be judged in the next few weeks, and we'll find out in October how well we placed. These kids did it. We had 3 minutes to spare on our deadline. They made it, and I'm real proud of the efforts they put into the state fair, and hopefully we placed well.
Reporting for PTV, this is Sam Pruitt.
Every year, Jostens travels to Phillipsburg High School to offer sophomores the ability to buy class rings. Let's lend this story over to Joseph Stevenson.
On September 3rd, the company Jostens came to Phillipsburg to show off class rings. They showed new designs and medals, as well as the addition of class tags. Many students get their rings or tags as mementos.
I thought it would be neat to have as I get older, like a keepsake of high school.
I've looked at both my parents, and it's just kind of a good keepsake to have from high school.
The thing that students love about their class ring is that they can customize it.
Every ring we make, you show us how to design it.
My class ring has show choir, band, and my graduation year on it.
I got a panther paw and some little dancers because of the Pacer dance team, and then I have my birthstone on there.
Then, on September 8th, Jostens returned to take orders for the rings. They will be arriving in 6 to 8 weeks from then. For PTV, this is Joseph Stevenson.
Earlier this week, the tennis team hosted a quad. Tanner Cole has more on this story.
The Phillipsburg tennis team did battle against Scott City, Norton, and Concordia on September 15th for a home quad. Macy Whitmer took first place in singles along with Lauren Walgren. Elizabeth Lighting got second in singles. In doubles, Suzanne Huntley and Kinsey Ratliff got first, as well as Maddie Mathis and Maggie Malmberg. The tennis girls pushed through some stressful conditions during the quad.
I went 3-0 today and got first. I think I played really well. Had a tough match the first one, but I pulled through and had to battle the heat and the wind today, but other than that, I think I played pretty good. I need to improve on my backhands and just kind of work on consistency, because I'm trying to get my swing back and just work on keeping it in and working them hard.
Playing today has been a little difficult because of the wind and all the balls are flying out, so that's been a challenge. I feel like we have things we could still improve on, but we did pretty well today with the conditions. We definitely need to work on like our first serves in the wind. That's tricky, and then just up at the net, moving our feet and getting to all the balls and having the right form.
For PTV, this is Tanner Cole.
As always, the volleyball team continues to improve and win matches. Alyssa Fossa has more on their improvement.
On Tuesday, the Lady Panthers faced off against some top teams of the MCO in the Chuck Millen Gym. First up for the Panthers was a match against Ellis. The Panthers had no problem handling the Railers as PHS won the match in 2 sets. Next for the Lady Panthers was state-ranked TNP. This was the second time the Lady Panthers played TNP this season. After losing the first set, Phillipsburg came back and won the second, but PHS lost the match in the third set. The last match of the night featured rivals Phillipsburg and Smith Center. Phillipsburg lost to Smith Center earlier in the season, but the Lady Panthers showed improvement this time and beat the Lady Red in 3 sets.
I was real proud of the girls' effort tonight. Played TNP a lot harder than we did last week and came back and beat Smith Center, which they had beat us last week, so I was real proud of the effort there. I feel like our girls are really coming together with some defensive things, offensively. Team's starting to gel real well.
Coach Keaton was especially impressed with her team's effort against Smith Center, and senior Rachel Coombs agrees.
Well, we lost to them previously in the season, so winning that was definitely a big win for us.
Of course, big school rival, kind of the end of the nightcap game. 3 sets, was really proud of our kids that we came back. We were down 20-23 there in the third set, had a timeout. Told Gracie we need to tie it up at 23, and she served us on out, so was really proud of the kids for coming back and getting the win in that third set. All season long, our goal has been to improve each and every night in practice, each and every night on the field or on the court, and our kids are each night that we come out are playing better, playing more consistent. Defense is a real struggle for us, and we kind of knew that coming into the year, but I feel like our kids are stepping up and really adjusting well. Erica's coming in and doing a nice job as libero and getting the ball to our setter, which then leads us into the best part of our game, which is our offense probably, and just getting more consistency throughout our game.
We played really well. We had a few hiccups here and there, but overall we did well.
For PTV, this is Alyssa Fawcett.
Phillipsburg football team started their season with 2 home games. Let's throw the story over to Nyla Salinas.
The 2015 football season began at Panther Stadium as Phillipsburg hosted TNP. The Panther defense started tough as Drew Staple brings down the quarterback. On offense, Panthers get their first score as senior Brock Means plows toward the end zone. The TNP Monarchs can't answer as a pack of Panthers pull down the quarterback again. And later, Drew Staple and Jace Gordon combine efforts for another quarterback sack. Panthers lead at halftime 14-0. In the second half, the defense stays strong as Connor Weinman breaks through for another sack. Quarterback Kirk Coombs makes a run on the outside.
And I stumbled a little bit, and I was telling everybody that I did that on purpose to fake out the defender, and then I just got to the corner of the end zone and dove in.
TNP tries passing to pick up yards, but Trey Thompson has another plan.
They laid it right out there for me, so all I had to do was make a break on the ball.
Junior Mark Coombs also helps the Panthers add points to the scoreboard.
It was my first high school varsity touchdown. I think it was like 60-plus yards. It was a pretty good touchdown. It was wide open. I didn't have to do much on that one.
Senior Connor Weinman high steps his way to the end zone as well, making the score 35-0 in favor of the Panthers.
Well, I thought we came out a little rusty, but it was our first game. We got our butts in gear second half. I thought we did well overall.
For the second game of the season, the Panthers hosted Norton on 9/11. After fumbling on their first possession, the Panthers get the ball back by forcing a Norton fumble. After a few fumble swaps, both teams settle down on offense. Mark Coombs picks up some yards, but the first quarter remains scoreless. Norton gets on the scoreboard first when they complete a long pass and find their way to the end zone. The Panthers waste no time fighting back as Connor Weinman returns the kick for good field position. A few plays later, and freshman quarterback Trey Sides slides through the openings to get the touchdown for Phillipsburg. The extra point fails, and with no points scored in the second half, Panthers fall 6-7. For PTV, this is Nyla Salinas.
Some students complain that there isn't enough to do after the football games, but the Fortress was sure to bring entertainment to the students of Phillipsburg. Here's our report on that story.
After the football game last week, many students headed to the Fortress for fun, food, and games.
Well, we're having an after party for after the football game here at the Fortress, where all the kids can come and just have a good time, play the Wii, play various games that we have going on.
Youth Pastor Jessica Pugh came up with the idea.
Okay, so we have ping pong, air hockey, foosball, we have a pool table, we've got 2 different Wii systems, and then there's like sports equipment and stuff outside.
While socializing, students took advantage of the free food and drinks and entered their names for a prize drawing.
I do like this party. It's really fun, and I'm glad all these people showed up. It's a little crazy, but I think we got this under control. My favorite thing to play was probably Mario Kart because it got so competitive and try to be first and come out on top. Yeah, if you are missing this party, you're missing out on a really good time. It's really, really fun.
From PTV, this is Layla Karim.
Now it's time for a little trivia challenge between our senior class and, well, the other seniors in our building.
What is this a familiar soundbite from?
Uma Thurman?
That is correct.
Is it from Dragnet?
Something coming out of Lynn's office, maybe?
I don't know. It sounds familiar.
I'm lost. Can't think of it.
The Munsters.
What does the phrase eyebrows on fleek mean?
Means your eyebrows look like mine.
Fleek mean.
They are on point. They are looking nice.
Means your eyebrows looking good.
Who thought up these questions?
I'm not sure about that one either. But sometimes people's eyebrows look like caterpillars, don't you think?
On the show, Leave It to Beaver, what is Beaver's last name?
Beaver?
Cleaver.
Cleaver. And his dad's name was Ward.
What's a vine?
A vine?
Yep.
Something that grows out of a tree?
Something a grape grows on.
It's like, I don't know, like 5 seconds or 6 seconds of like video. It's normally like funny stuff.
It's a thing grapes grow on, Jack and the Beanstalk.
Who is the host of American Bandstand?
Dick Clark.
That's a good question. I have no idea. I don't even have cable.
You mean Dick Clark?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we went to grade school together.
Zach Davis, I don't know.
Can you whip a nay-nay for us?
Okay.
Well, I whip a lot of things in my classroom using a whisk. And that motion looks like this.
What about the whip and nay-nay?
You know, I'm sorry, I've taken a vow to not do any of that stuff. You know, my husband is a Lutheran pastor in town.
Okay.
The whip and nay-nay.
Let's see here. Nay-nay. Nay-nay. Is that a dance move?
Well, that wraps up our show. I'm Taya Cunningham.
And I'm Haley Bruner.
Stay classy, Phillipsburg High.